So as always, I'm thrilled to have you join us on today's episode. The topic, like I said, is woman, look up and serve. It's easy to be bogged down in life by personal issues, this and that. But sometimes taking your eyes off yourself and off your immediate challenges and circumstances and focusing on serving others is a look-up act you need to find your breakthrough. On this episode today, we will talk on the transformative power of looking up and serving others, especially for women seeking breakthroughs in various areas of life. Be kind to follow us on all our social media platforms at Up You with Ezine on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, that is X. We'd love to connect with you and keep the conversation going long after this live episode has ended. May I remind you that all episodes of Up You with Ezine are up on our YouTube and podcast channels at Up You with Ezine. Be sure to follow us and please don't miss a thing. We have nuggets and nuggets and nuggets for you to live your life a little seamlessly. Yeah? Okie dokie. Now it's time to bring up our guest into the studio. If you're just joining us, this is Up You with Ezine on WFM 91.7. Don't touch that dial. Our guest today is Mabel Ben-Muka, a woman of remarkable accomplishments. Mabel's educational path began at Yaba Model Primary School in 1976, when she laid the foundation for her academic pursuits. She continued her studies at New Era Girls Secondary School and later ran some Kuti Memorial Grammar School, Lagos, setting the stage for her future endeavors. Her thirst for knowledge led her to Lagos State Polytechnic Isolo, where she obtained an HND in Business Administration and Management. Not stopping there, Mabel pursued postgraduate diploma in Human Resources at the University of Wales, United Kingdom, enhancing her professional qualifications. Mabel's career commenced at Adata Investment Limited in 1994, followed by roles at Video Limited and Marathon Events Limited, where she collaborated with industry luminaries like Benga Adeyinka, T.A. Comedian, and Eddie Lawani in the vibrant event sector. In 2003, Mabel joined Z Mirage Multimedia Limited, contributing significantly to the production of Miss Malaika, Nigeria, and serving as a dedicated chaperone to the crowned beauty queen during official engagements. Her trajectory took a new turn in May 2004 when she joined MTN Nigeria, making impactful strides in customer service and marketing until her departure in September 2018 to the Republic of Ireland to reunite with her family. Beyond her professional achievements, Mabel has devoted her adult life to humanitarian causes, notably through Lions Club International. She served as the past president of Newbridge Kildare Lions Club and currently holds the role of New Voices Coordinator for Lions Club Ireland, District 133. Additionally, Mabel serves as an executive assistant to the managing director at Arise Impact, demonstrating her commitment to making a positive difference. Mabel Ben-Muka exemplifies resilience, dedication, and a profound spirit of service. Her journey is a testament to the power of education, professional excellence, and humanitarian leadership. Dear everyone listening world over, please join me in welcoming a very dear special guest today. Good evening, Mabel. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good evening, Ezine.
Oh my goodness. Look at what technology has done for us. You sound like you are just by my side.
Yes.
Good evening. It's so good to have you. I'm delighted to be doing this episode with you.
Same here.
Good. If you're just joining us, this is Up You with Ezine on WFM 91.7. Please, the topic on the burner is Woman Look Up and Serve. Everybody, get ready, get ready. I'm just going to open the phone lines immediately because I want us to have a robust and interactive conversation. So the number to call is 07000 917 So get ready to hit us and be part of this conversation. Woman, look up and serve. Mabel, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
Could you share with our audience your personal journey and how the concept of looking up and serving up has influenced your life and career? But before you even jump into this one, tell me, what's your perspective? What's your perspective of today's topic?
Well, looking at today's topic, it's like you said, looking up and serving. There are different ways in serving. You can serve in church. You can serve in the community. I did both ways. So actually just like, okay, this is what I have done, looking up in the service that I have actually given out to other people. So that's my perspective in it. And it's something that I look at, and I believe that it's because of my compassion and my passion in it and the commitment. That's why I actually went into it in the first instance.
Okay. So you have to have passion for it, and you have to have compassion as well. You know, two very valid points that you've made there, because one of the things that we are seeing right now in the world is that there's a lack of empathy, and it looks like our humanness is draining out of us. We're becoming so conditioned that we don't feel, we don't think, we don't even want to serve the next person. We don't even want to serve ourselves in the first place, and not to talk about serving somebody else. So I am really very glad that you are here. So now please share with your audience, your journey, your personal journey, and how this concept, has influenced your entire life and career.
Okay, like I said, you've actually done the introduction already. I'm Mabel, and I was born and brought up in Lagos. I did my education in Lagos. And in my personal life, towards going into my adulthood, it was a bit challenging concerning marriage. And I said, okay, if marriage is not coming, let me commit myself to do something else that will be something that I will enjoy doing. I'll feel that fulfillment in it, and there's happiness in it. And when I joined Vigil, I got to meet a friend of mine in Vigil, and she introduced me to Lions Club International. And that was in 1998. And since I joined, I've not looked back. What I tell people is our motto in Lions is we serve. That's the motto in Lions, we serve. And I keep telling them that you don't need to have millions for you to become a member. Even though you have 1,000 naira, that 1,000 naira goes a long way helping somebody else. I share an instance with you while I was going through the service. We used to visit homes to give them stuff. What we do is we go to different homes, motherless baby homes, the old people's home. We ask them what they need, and we provide it for them. And you realize that ordinary Dunlop slippers that will think it's really, really cheap, it's something they can't afford. I remember going to one of those homes on Okpebi, and the children there were like, they didn't have school uniforms. And we just went into this market. We bought them materials. We brought in a tailor to sew the uniform for them. We bought them buckets, slippers, and they were jumping. And I'm like, just this? So I keep telling one that even though you have 10 naira and you bring out 1 naira out of this 10 naira to give to these little ones, it is a big appreciation to them. You don't need to have millions to do it. And I find that fulfillment in me when I do it, and I see the smile. The smile alone is all what I need. You don't need all the things in the world to do this, but when you have that love and you cherish what they do and you appreciate them, it goes a long way, and you see that smile in them like, oh, so there's someone like this that can come here to do this for us. And we keep going back, and we keep expanding every day. It's such a joyful moment for me every time when I wake up and I sleep. I'm like, yes, I've done something for someone.
Thank you. Mabel, now, when you were talking, you said a couple of things that are really very, very key. You said you were growing up and the marriage wasn't coming, and then you now said, okay, this marriage is not coming, let me face something else. That hits me like, but we'll hold that one on our knee and then we'll come back to it. Then you later on, you said that your 10 naira can go a long way, you know. It's almost impossible to believe, because right now we're all concerned with in the whole world, not just even in Nigeria, we're concerned with our well-being. We're concerned that our little money cannot even meet our needs. We're so concerned about our circumstances that kindness, that service, that serving is not even on the line. And here you are telling us that we should do what? We should, in spite of all the problems that we have, that we still need to do what? Go out and what? Serve. Wow. How are we going to sell these to people? Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So today you are Mrs. Mabel Ben-Muka. So that means that marriage eventually came.
Yeah, I did.
You want to quickly tell us about that?
Well, marriage eventually came in 2017. But that didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. It didn't stop me from doing what I was doing. The funnest part is, after we relocated, when we got to the place we're living now, I had to look for a local club to join. And because of all the experience I had from where I was coming from, it was easy for me to blend into the club. And immediately they saw my profile, they were like, man, this is the next president of the club. I'm saying, no, let me see what is really happening first before I jump into being a president. So I said, let me start from a first vice president, which I did. And their own system is quite different from what we do in Nigeria. Our own system here it's more of, we feed the community. So the way we do it is we go to stores around us, we have our buckets, and we ask people to please give to us, because we are still coming back to give it to the community, those that don't have. And you know, in this part of the world, especially during Christmas period, it's hard for someone to get electricity, because the electricity definitely will go high because of winter. And a lot of people can't afford buying those stuff. So what we do is, when we gather this money, we have an internal person that knows those that need them, and we get the list. After getting the list, we have people that do the distribution. We also distribute AMPA, and what we do in the AMPA is not the normal provision. What we do is we buy live turkey. We buy live turkey and put just few things that we know will support the turkey, because we definitely know for Christmas there should be turkey. You know, and we take it to them, we give it, and they really appreciate it, because a lot of families are struggling. It's everywhere. So the little we can support them with, we go ahead to do it. And we go we go more like going into the community and going into the small companies we have around our community to tell them to support us, so that we'll be able to do more than what we're doing. And we've been doing this, and this club I joined has been, they started this club in 1976. You can imagine this club is going to be 50 in 2 years. And it's something that we've been doing. And at the end of the day, we see the changes in it. We get compliments every day. People coming back to say, thank you for what you've done. Can you imagine? We believe we weren't going to have a good Christmas, but we had it. So marriage complemented my service.
Oh, you blew me away with the first point, and then you want to now finish me. You said marriage now complemented her service.
Yeah.
So that which you were looking for came your way eventually, and then helped you, amplified your ability to serve.
Yes.
You know, when you were talking, something was just going through my head. I just kept saying, service to humanity is service to God. That's exactly what God put us here to do, to be of service to one another. And as women, women in particular, we do a lot of stuff with our time, with our money, and all of that. And we always keep saying the excuse we make is that we don't have enough money, but we have enough time.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it may not be money that you need to give. It may be time that you need to give to another woman to talk to you so that you can listen to that person without being judgmental. So you can hold that person's hand and say a prayer. So you can give that person a hug that is genuine.
Yeah.
I remember you do live in Ireland, but I remember that you used to send me very big hugs in 2020, 2021 when I was struggling.
Yeah.
You will send me those messages and you will encourage me. And you didn't need to. You were not here. I am in Lagos. You're in Ireland. But because you already had that culture of service, you found yourself reaching out. And I'm not sure you remember. When I was talking to you and I was saying, I am thinking of what to do because I cannot be doing what I used to do now because of the circumstances that were around me then. And you said, oh, but sister, you can volunteer to the UN. Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I do.
And you didn't just do that. You went ahead and connected me with someone here in Lagos, Nigeria, who would train me so that I could become eligible to, volunteer as a UN volunteer helper or something for service. And I all that happened. And I'm like, sometimes when I sit down and think about it, I'm like, she could have said, I don't live in Lagos. I don't know what to do and all of that. But you found a solution. You found something. You offered something. So my question really with all the story that I'm telling is, how can women reconfigure, our circumstances, navigate societal expectations and stereotypes and everything, and then decide on our own without anybody prompting us to be people that serve?
Like with what you said initially, in our Lions term, we have this thing we call the 3T. Mm-hmm. The 3T is your time, treasure, and talent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at the end of it all, some can have the 3, but you will definitely have one of it. So you could have the time, and sometimes you don't have the treasure, and sometimes you can have the talent, and you don't have the time. But you can actually do something that will make people know that, yes, you were there for that person at that particular time. So because when some people complain, they say, I don't have the money to do this thing. And I keep telling them that money is not everything. Ordinary, you calling someone today and saying, how are you, goes a long way. Because at that moment, maybe that was what the person needed to hear from you. And sometimes it could be your treasure. And treasure also, it's not money sometimes too. Treasure, it's you appreciating something that someone is doing to you at that time. And if you remember those days of COVID, a lot of people were depressed. There was no going out. People were frustrated. But for you to just call someone and say, babe, how are you today? How are you doing? I know it is not fair the way the things are going in this world, but when you have life, man, every other thing falls into place. Mm-hmm. So just keep pushing and keep believing that all will be well. It's a very important thing for you to say to people, and they will really appreciate it at that particular moment. And we look at ourselves like women that we can't do it all. Well, we can. We can each other. The main thing we just need is communication. just say it. Somebody else is ready to do it for you if you can't do it yourself. But you need to speak out, because if you don't speak out, no one will listen to you. No one will know what is going through you. You know, it's now that we know what is called mental health. A lot of people didn't know what was called mental health those days. We're just there thinking that, okay, I can't do it. So what is the essence? Well, you can do it. If you mention it to somebody else, you don't know if that person will be the person to help you at that particular moment that you need this help. So it's not everything that you buckle into your body. Speak it out, say it, and there'll be somebody there to support you. I believe in serving, and serving alone is not serving the community, but serving each other. Serving each other is saying, oh, this is what is happening to me. Guy, this is the same thing happening to me, but I know if we speak to each other and come into a middle way, we'll be able to resolve it. Women, we need to speak out, and we need to hold our ground that this thing can be done. Let's stop saying that we cannot do it. We can do it. No matter how it is, we can. That is my own belief in things. And that's the way I take life. I think of today, I don't think of tomorrow, because I thank God that I woke up this morning and I could say, thank you, God, for seeing another beautiful day. I thank God that I am not in the hospital. I thank God that I can still talk to someone. It's a big thing, but people look at it and think it's just a normal thing. Fine, I slept and wake up, so what's the big deal in it? But it's a very big deal for somebody else, because some people slept and then wake up the next day. But we give thanks to God. So women, we shouldn't look down on ourselves. We should always strive ahead and believe that all is well, and anything we would believe ourselves to do, anything we have and we have focus in it and determination, we'll do it right.
Thank you very much. The number to call is 07000-917-917, and the number to text is 0703-175-6537. It's still up you with Ezine on WFM 91.7, and our guest is Mabel Ben-Muka, all the way from the Republic of the Island. When you were talking, a lot of things were just running through my head. There is this thing you said, we should learn to speak up as women. We should learn to ask for help. As we are on this episode today, there is a woman somewhere, maybe even listening in, who has a very big burden, but who has decided she will not share with anybody. Instead, she will carry the burden by herself. Honestly, it is not strength to carry the problem of the world and put on top of yourself and just be going up and down. You should seek help. Like Mabel has said, there are people who are cut out to serve, people who have given their all to serve and are there to help you. And then you also can decide to do what? Learn how to serve. Because like I said in the introduction, when you take your eyes off whatever it is that is your big issue at the moment, the only reason why that thing looks big is because you're focused on it. If you remove your eye from it and focus on some other person's need, and you peradventure help that person find relief in that need that they have, the way that light will come into your own brain that yours can be solved. It's so amazing. I don't know how it happens. I tell you this from experience. If you remove your eye from your big mountain and focus on some other person's anthill and help that person remove the anthill, by the time you look at that, your mountain, honestly, it will be the size of the anthill and you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything actively to remove it. So women, if you don't take anything away from what Mabel is telling us today, take away the fact that the universe will conspire and help you to solve whatever it is that is ailing you. Mabel, thank you. From your perspectives, how can women overcome societal barriers and stereotypes while striving for personal growth in community service?
Well, the way I look at it, like I said initially, The mentality of women can't speak in public has really changed
Mm-hmm.
because women are striving in different fields and they are becoming successful. So we should keep pushing and encouraging ourselves to strive higher. That's one thing I look at it, because stereotypes are only to be seen and not to be heard, and it's still the same in some churches. But all the same, I still believe if we keep speaking, we'll get to that level that they won't be able to shut us down. We just need not to be quiet. We need to speak out.
Okay. I hear you. I do know that you are quite active on the streets of social media, just like I am. And when you stroll on that street, whether you're coming from X to Instagram or to Twitter or to Facebook or anywhere you're going, or even on WhatsApp, you find that it is the women who shut down their fellow women.
Mm-hmm.
If there is anything at all, and you go to the comments, it's the women that are throwing out the stuff. So you begin to wonder, when are we going to wake up and realize that by makeup we are mothers, by makeup we are nurturers, by makeup we are builders, by makeup we are multipliers, by makeup we are people that should serve. We should serve and keep everything in cohesion. That is our role. We are helpmates.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be a helpmeet and you're not giving help. And then the help doesn't necessarily mean to your family as well. It can be to a complete total stranger.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we, there's this thing we were taught when we were growing up that hurting people hurt others. So I've been asking myself lately, does it mean that many women are hurting and so therefore they hurt others?
Well, the way I look at things, sometimes when this thing happens, it's actually a foundation thing. We should know what has let this come to be. Okay, let me go back to being a customer service person when I was in MTN. Mm-hmm. I was in a working environment, and customers sometimes just walk in. Mm-hmm. And instead of them coming to resolve an issue, you just see that angry face on them and you're like, but I didn't say anything. So you don't know where this person is coming from. So when it becomes that, and we call them irate customers. So when it becomes that, we just say, cool down, just listen to what this person needs to say. Don't interrupt, because by the time you interrupt, all that anger that the person is bringing from where it's coming from is just going to be on you. So at that time, what we just need is our listening skill. Then after everything, I've seen 2-3 customers, after everything you resolve the issues, they will now come back and say, oh, I'm really sorry for what I did. It wasn't really your fault. So and so happened before I got here. That's why I had to react that way. So
they had unresolved issues they were carrying with them.
Foundation thing. So people that does such things, if you go down and look at where this person is coming from, maybe somebody else has done something bad and you think you have to now translate or transfer it to someone else, which doesn't have to be that way. So we still need to keep talking. We can't keep quiet. And I know definitely by the time you see people correcting you every time, you know what you're doing is not right. But when we keep quiet, it will keep continuing and you keep having negative response from people. But I think we should stand up for ourselves and help each other. There's no way you will do things. You will still see one bad person among it. There's no way. It happens that way. So you can't say because this child is bad, I'll have to remove this child and throw this child away. It's not possible.
No. So we keep working until we get it resolved. Yes. Yeah. Interesting. Like when you were talking, you talked about mental health. Thank God for the awareness. Post-COVID, post-2000, a lot of people all over the world are depressed.
Yeah.
Because We may not know it, but what we went through in the world as a whole is rather unprecedented for any of us living at this time.
True.
You know, we're not used to being locked up. We're locked up against our wishes. We're locked down for several months, you know, and if not a year plus. And as if that was not enough, the spate of death and bad news and all that was just so much, and everything was just assailing us. People lost their jobs, people lost their means of livelihood, inflation came, and all sorts of things. It's just been a roller coaster of bad news. And so we are getting a whole lot of depression, mental illness, and some suicides here and there. So lately I was in a conversation with a doctor, and he said, go serve the less privileged. Go to a motherless baby's home and spend 1 hour, 2 hours with the baby, feed them, carry them, jump with them, do something. Trust me, if you do that 3 times a week, or even if you do it once a week continually, your joy will return, because those ones don't know these things you're talking about and they're carrying on like. So why am I saying this here? I'm saying it to bring out the benefits of service. You might think you're doing it for someone else, but the benefits that you get, there are some that are not quantifiable, like the satisfaction that you derive from holding a baby and watching that baby happy. You know, like what you shared about the home in Opebi, where you made uniforms for them and they were so grateful. Bathroom slippers. I mean, bathroom slippers, let's say maybe at that point it was 50 naira. And they were joyful. It also brings you and puts your own thoughts in perspective of how blessed you are. And then you now realize that challenge you were focusing on was just the devil trying to distract you from giving praise. Could you please talk to us about the benefits, the tangible and the intangible benefits of service?
Benefits of service. The way I look at service is not something that you do and you expect someone to say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Service is something you do, and at the end of the day, you yourself that did the service, you're fulfilled doing that service. So fulfillment is part of the benefit of service. Being committed doing that service. Some people do service just because of that they want to do it. But you need to have that commitment that I am doing this thing because I love doing it. I'll also give you another example. A lot of people don't know that I was into children parties. I was doing children parties. Before I started doing children parties fully, I do a lot of children parties that I don't even bother to take money from the people. And one of my friends called me one day and told me and said, come, are you Mother Teresa? I said, but I have that joy of doing it. It's not because of the money, that is why I'm doing it. He said, but all this equipment you bought it with money. So why are you just giving it out and you're not asking for money? I said, because it's what I love doing. But when he got to an extent, he said, okay, fine, I know it's what you love doing. Please, can we turn it into business?
Mm-hmm.
So even though when I turned it into business, the church I was attending, before I left Nigeria, I still do it as a point of my duty that every year when we do Christmas party, I give them my Christmas stuff for free. I don't collect money from them. I said, this is my own part of helping out. Please use it. They said, no, maybe. I said, no, okay, if you want to pay money, okay, pay money for this and this and this. But this particular one, I'm giving it out for the children. You know, so anytime they even call me from there, they will tell me, they say, your children are missing you. Because every December, my birthday cake goes to the children department. They are not asking me to do it, but because I love doing it. And when I do it, I have this fulfillment in me that, yes, I have done what I want to do. So if you don't enjoy doing what you want to do, I don't think there's any need of doing it. I don't know how to do eye service. I don't know how to do that. I do things because I want to do it. And I do it because I know when I do it, I am fulfilled internally. And I know that this is what God has asked me to do. So that is why I am doing it. So I think when we want to do things, we shouldn't think of the benefits of the financial aspect of it, especially when it is service. We should think of this thing you have done, how this person you did it to, what impact did it get into? You know, you are going somewhere, you're taking food to someone, and you got there and saw that they did not even have anything. You've brought joy into their life. They will forever remember you. Sometimes we go into homes and tell them, fine, we can't keep giving you food every day. We take someone that knows how to do work. Like the last time they did one was, okay, this lady does spices. So we said, okay, like 10 people from this home, we're going to train you on how to do spices. Mm-hmm. And we're going to give you money to start the business. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, you too will be able to serve somebody else.
Yeah.
And it will continue that way. Because if we keep coming to give you, you think that is your entitlement for you to get it. So let's teach you how to fish so that you'll become a good fisherman tomorrow. So service is in different ways. You serve to give people things, and you serve also to teach people how to do it.
Fantastic.
That's the way I look at it.
Fantastic. So you serve to meet needs, and you serve to equip people to also begin to meet those needs by themselves if they have the capacity, and also for them in turn to train other people. And it keeps going. It's a cycle. It keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. It keeps going. The number to call is 07000 917 917. And the number to text is 0703 175 6537. It's still up here with Ezine on WFM 91.7. Please stay with us. Thank you, Mabel. You are making some very great points here, and we're learning quite a lot from you. There are various sizes to service, and each should start with their own capability at their own level. Whatever it is that you're able to do at your own level, take your eyes off yourself and do it. You know, one of my mentors used to say that if your entire life was all about you, then you've lived a small life. Mm. And my father used to say, you know, we used to say to my father when we were younger that he was too generous. Because everybody who comes to our house gets something, and they always bring their problems, and he will solve the problems. And then we'll now keep saying to him, you're too generous, we're lacking things here. And then the man will say, the reason why you're alive today, the reason why we're where we are is because of how generous I am. Even if it's a prayer that the people that you have touched will say for you, it goes a long way. It's important that, especially now, the way things are, that we deliberately serve people. And that's a very great point you made there. Do not serve as an eye service. Serve because you truly enjoy doing it. Serve because you want to bring the next person out of their own situation. You know, serve genuinely so that your rewards, tangible and intangible, will also come genuinely. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. This is a lot of knowledge we are getting today. Now, I've had to go back to look at the poster that we made for this show. And it reads Lion Mabel Ben-Muka, NLCF PPTZC PRC. What are those things under your name?
Okay. The NLCF is actually Nigerian Lions Charity Foundation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the bigger version of it is LCIF, which is the Lion, LCIF is the Lion Club International Foundation. Mm-hmm. The Lions Club International Foundation is a foundation where a lot of people contribute money into. It's like a purse. So at the end of the day, the money goes to the less privileged.
Okay.
So the one for the international, the Lion Club International, that one, the purse is there for anything that happens. If it's an earthquake, just like what happened in Ukraine, we don't need to start running around to get money. You have a purse already.
You already have it
from there and just send it. So the one for the NCLF is the one that's for the Nigerian one. So that one is used for emergencies in any community that they need to use the money from the district. Then the PP is actually the past president.
Okay.
Okay. I was a past president in the former club in Nigeria before I came here. And I'm
also past president.
Also a past president here.
Okay.
And the PC, is it the PC? PZ, that's the past zone chairperson.
Okay.
Okay, so I was the past zone chairperson in my district in Nigeria. The job of a past zone chairperson is you have a club under you. They give you like 7 clubs that you need to nurture.
Mm-hmm.
You need to follow up with the clubs. Anything they have, any issues they have, you want to resolve it.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the PRC?
The PLC is the past region zone chair. So the region, the zone chair reports to the region chair.
Okay. So all of these are stuff that accolades to you through service that you've given over the years.
Yes.
It's incredible. And all of this is not your day-to-day job, because I see that you're also a sales advisor at Dunes.
Yes.
And at the same time, you are also the executive assistant to the managing director at Arise Impact. How do you do all of this? Very quickly, because time is already running away. Okay. How do you do all of this?
Okay, and for the one for the Dawn Store is the job I do presently. Is a retail organization here in Highland. Then the Arise Impact is part of the UN volunteer that I do.
The one that you also got me into.
Yes. And I actually transitioned from the executive assistant to the MD to becoming the HR admin. And from the HR admin, I became the HR advisor. The HR lead. But all are voluntary. So that is service. There's no payment on that. That's just service. It's just passion of what I'm doing. But recently, when I started the job I'm doing here in Ireland, I had to put that like on hold for now. But before I left, I got somebody else to take over from me. But it's under UN volunteer job. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mabel. Thank you. Time is not our friend, and we need to wrap up. So please, could you quickly, in 1 minute, give an advice to young women who aspire to be like you, who are ambitious, and who actively want to make a difference in their communities?
Well, like I said initially, the advice, just the one advice I'm going to give is, if you have anything to do for service, you have to be genuinely transparent with it. It's not something that you do and you need someone to say thank you to you. So you need to have the passion and you have the commitment to actually show that love to your next neighbor. It doesn't have to be a big community. It could be your next door neighbor that you've not seen for 2-3 days, but you just knock, I'm sorry, how are you today? And a smile comes out. You've done the service for that person.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Mabel, for joining us and sharing your valuable insights on Woman Look Up and Serve. It's been a pleasure having you on this show today.
Okay.
Dear Up You Woman, you can see it. You can just see it. There you have it. Is there anything I should add? Mabel keeps a day job. She volunteers as well at the highest levels at the UN. She has, she's a lion. She's been president. She's all sorts of things in the Lions Club, giving service to humanity. She's a wife. She's a mother. She's a pastor. And she's a good sister and friend. You know, service to self and others is the real essence of humanity. When you immerse yourself in service truly, the universe rewards you bountifully. So woman, I encourage you today to look up and begin to serve up. The rewards are plenty, not to mention that you keep looking young. Because, yes, I don't know how it happens. Mabel has remained like this from the day I knew her till today. She's not aging. In fact, she's aging backwards. So it must be the service. It must be the fact that she brings joy to people and they also give her back joy.
Yeah.
This is where we wrap today's edition of Up You with Ezine. It's been another amazing one. Please follow us on all our social media platforms at Up You with Ezine and put on your notifications. Get copies of our books and don't forget to be a part of our amazing community. Let's continue this conversation off air. Big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week. Starting with you, our dear listeners, our guests, my producer, engineers on duty, the best radio station, WFM 91.7, and of course, the amazing OPU team. Do join us next time for another engaging episode of OPU with Ezine. Until then, stay inspired and keep aiming high. Bye for now from Mabel and myself. My name is Ezine Kufrekanem and it's OPU.
Help you.